In today's Razorback Daily, an Arkansas legend joins the show. Darren McFadden is in the house. And we're not stopping there. We've got a surprise lined up with some very special people that's going to drop in. It's Wednesday, July 30th, 2025. I'm Quinn Grovey alongside my man Matt Zimmerman, and you're listening to the Razorback Daily.
All right, folks, welcome back into the Razorback Daily. We appreciate you joining us as always. Thanks for watching on Hogs Plus, listening on the podcast as well. And we've got a very, very, very special guest with us today, Quinn Grovey.
Three berries.
Usually they get one berry. Real good ones get two berries. You get three berries. Darren McFadden.
I like it.
Hey, Darren, welcome back to the Razorback Daily. Quinn and I are so excited that you're here with us. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Can't complain. I definitely appreciate you guys having me back on. Anytime I can get on and chat with you guys, I always enjoy it, man. But, just getting excited for the year coming up. Looking forward to some Razorback football.
You're looking good. I mean, the arms are like, eating up the arms and the shirt. I mean, you look like you're ready to go, man. What would you run a 40 in right now, man?
Man, I tell everybody, until I put another clock on me, I run a 4.33, man. That was the last time my time, so hey, that's what I run right now.
Okay.
But now, I feel like I tell people I'm probably right now, it's probably been the most consistent. I've been working out since I retired, man. Just months of just working out in the gym and everything, just trying to keep myself healthy. I tell people I turned over a new life in drinking. I started a new leaf in life. I stopped drinking. And so that's one thing that contributed to me being able to, focus and just get in the gym, work out, and, just focus on my family and focus on my life and health, man.
Well, you look great. You look like you could run for those 321 yards you got against the South Carolina Gamecocks. You look like you could do it again.
I always tell people anytime I watch that game, my dad is my biggest critique, man. And so I watched that game, and so I couldn't wait to see him in the family room after. I'm like, yeah, he can't say nothing. I got 300 yards. I get up there and talk to him like, yeah, if you would have did this, you would have did that, you'd have had 500 yards. And every time I go back and I watch that film, it's a couple plays that stand out to me. I feel like I got so far into the game that I was just trying to hit a home run every time. And so it's a few plays I know I left 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 yards out there. And when I look back at that, I'm like, man, I tied this record. I could have left it in shambles pretty much. And so it's just one of those games. And my dad's words always stick with me when I see those plays. Like, dang, this is exactly what he's talking about right here.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, you did tremendous. One of the greatest games in Razorback history, and you can argue the greatest performance ever by a Razorback football player. But, Darren, we have got special surprise. You talk about a big surprise right here for you. I think you're going to like this. You ready for your surprise?
All right. What do we got?
Look at there.
How are you doing, my friend?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How's it going, man? Doing great. Can't complain.
We're doing great. Coach Pittman and I want to know if, since you can still run a 4.3, you got any eligibility left?
Hey, man, I probably can get out there and hang with those young fellas a little bit, man.
I guarantee you could.
Yeah. Darren, as we get ready for football season, we've got a special honor we want to announce today. Beginning with the 2025 football season, jersey number 5 will be a jersey of honor.
Man.
Officially put a patch on whatever player wears that specific jersey, number 5, that you wore so well during your career as a Razorback. And that will begin with their home opener on August the 30th. And then we're going to have a special ceremony at the Texas A&M game in October to hang jersey number 5, a representation of that in Razorback Stadium to officially honor you in the
career. I definitely appreciate that, man. That's one of the things, just being able to hear that, man, I thank you, man. I know for the state of Arkansas, the people love me so much, man. Anytime somebody see that number 5, they think of Darren McFadden, and I definitely appreciate it, because I appreciate it, man.
So, Tara, can we pull up the patch? There it is, Darren.
There it is.
Okay, nice.
How about that silhouette right there? So the DM,
like
the silhouette of you. So That will be on jersey number 5. And I know we don't have a running back officially. I guess it's going to wear that this year, but we got somebody by the name of Cam Ball that plays in our defensive line that's going to wear that really well in honor of you
Hey,
this year, Darren.
I about to say, I think he's been representing pretty good, man. I got to give him that.
He looks good, doesn't he?
He definitely does. I like to say, I'm at a loss for words, fellas, man. I just appreciate it, man. It just put a big smile on my face there, and I feel like I've done a lot for the state of Arkansas and the University of Arkansas, and just for you guys that honor me with that patch on the man. I think that's awesome, and I definitely appreciate it.
I can't wait to hear. We got some really special games this year. Coach will tell you he's got a pretty tough schedule. I think we just got some special games. We have a national
SEC
TV
ball
game on ABC September 27th versus Notre Dame, and I can't wait to hear that national broadcast crew talk about you and your career when they see that patch on Cam Ball.
Hey, well, I definitely plan on being in attendance for that for sure.
You know, you're so great in a lot of aspects for Arkansas football. I mean, as a man, what you did, what you've accomplished, and who you are now. You know, we've asked you to come help us, and you came and helped us and helped us recruit. And, I just can't thank you enough. And I'm so proud and happy for you because I can feel through this video, I can feel what it means to you, and it's been a long time coming, and I'm happy that I could be a part of it as well.
Man, I'm not one of them people to get choked up, man. But I just want to tell you, I appreciate it, man. It really means a lot to me, man. I definitely appreciate it. You pulled one on me that time, man. I don't know what the surprise was, man, but I'm honored, man. Thank you guys very much, man. Appreciate it.
Well, we thought this was a perfect way to kick off fall camp by announcing this to the Razorback Nation and announcing it to our team this week at our team meeting.
I definitely, man. I thank you guys. I appreciate that a whole lot for sure. And like I say, I'm not one of the people to get choked up. It take a lot for me, man. But this is awesome right here, man. It definitely is, man.
And we'll have a really special ceremony at that Texas A&M game for you in October. And I know Razorback Nation will show out in full force and really pay tribute to you and your career.
Yeah, hey, bring that wood too. Bring that back.
Yes, sir. Always.
That interview
always,
that interview with you and Houston Nutt was one of the greatest post-game interviews I've ever seen. In Houston, he just saw how much he loved you and how much he cared about you, and you had that, and it was just a great, great interview between a player and a coach, and how you guys felt about each other. It was really cool.
Man, I tell everybody, Coach Nutt is my guy, man. The way that he coached us, and I run through a wall for him, man, and just seeing him in that interview, and just having those Les Miles words run through my head, Arkansas, like, I'm from the state of Arkansas, so I'm going to represent it to the fullest, man. And, I just felt like it was a time to come on, Mike, and, let it be known nationally how it's supposed to be said.
Well, you said couldn't have been as perfect. Couldn't have been any better by either one of you. It was a lot of passion in that interview. It was great.
Yes, sir. Definitely appreciate it, man. Appreciate you guys, man.
That's awesome. Well, you said it right there. I love to see the emotion from you, Darren, and you're a true Razorback legend. But to be honored like that for a Little Rock kid, that speaks volumes of what you meant to this state and what you meant to our football program. Congratulations.
Like I said, I tell people it wasn't another school in the country for me, man. Once I was offered by Arkansas, I knew where I was going hands down, and so it wasn't another school in the country for me. I committed as a sophomore, and I stuck that through, and I didn't have any thoughts of changing my mind at any point.
Home is more important than ever, and Arvest Bank is here to help you with all of your home loan needs for a new home, a refinance, or as we all mostly need, making improvements to your current home. Get started today. Arvest.com/home for me. That is Arvest.com/home for me. Equal housing lender. All loans subject to credit approval.
like when you first got here as a freshman, Charles Ripley. I mean, he's one of the best people out
Coach
there.
Rip.
Yeah, old Rip, legendary high school coach. And man, I gotta tell you, he told me, I mean, right off the get go, this guy is going to win us a Heisman Trophy. This guy's going to be the best running back ever. And I was like, what? Really? Seriously? Are you kidding me? And man, I saw you take the field. And boy, you did not. You should have won 2 Heisman. We already know that.
Man.
I mean, we already know about all that. But boy, I tell you what, Rip just flat told me. He said, Darren McFadden is going to be the best player in Arkansas history, man. And you just flat out went out there and done it. So
Man.
when you get that reaction right there, I mean, you got a guy like a Rip talking about that, and then you go and fulfill all the expectations that needed to be fulfilled. What was it like when you saw Hunter and Sam pop on? I mean, you probably like, I don't know what's getting ready to happen, but
Right, yeah, definitely. I always tell people, for me, coming out of Oak Grove High School, it's a small high school, 3A high school, my sophomore, junior, then we went up to 4A. So we didn't have a lot of respect for us, And when people were here at Oak Grove and they heard about this kid to go to Oak Grove named Darren McFadden that could play ball, it's like, oh yeah, he had a 3A school, see him do it on whatever level. And at one point, I kind of was listening to that, and so I wanted to transfer to Central. And so I think this was going into my 9th grade year. I wanted to transfer to Central, and my dad was telling me, like, man, if you could play ball, they'll come find you anywhere, and gave me the whole rundown, spiel and everything. So I went to 2 summer practices at Central, and I didn't even get a rep out there. Only thing I did was condition with them out there. So I'm like, man, you know what? I think I like my chance at Oak Grove. At least I know I'm playing, because I want to play football. I want to just be out here or whatever. And so ended up back at Oak Grove and, just basically took off. I remember talking to Danny Nutt, and he was telling me they were watching us play against Joe T. Robinson. And I think they were looking at, I think it was Gary Anderson on the team they had at the time. And they were looking at him, and number 5 kept showing up for the green team. And, they were just wondering who's this number 5 kid. And, I was playing running back, playing safety as well. And so it was like, he just said I pretty much got their attention, kept showing up on the ball, showing up on the film and everything. And I always tell people, no matter what you're doing on the field, man, be moving towards the ball. You want to show up on film. Anything could happen, the ball may pop out. You're there just to get on the fumble. And so when I went to University of Arkansas, like I say, for me, it was hands down. I was going to go there regardless. Didn't think about going anywhere else. And, walking into my situation there, all I was doing, I was just coming to play football. I wasn't thinking about setting any records or going to the NFL. I wanted to go play football and just show people that I could play football at the end of the day. Specifically running back, because a lot of people said I should play safety. And, I remember getting that thing. My first game was against Southeast Missouri. I was like number 4 or 5 on the depth chart. And so I'm just working my way up over the next few games, man. I had a good break against I always looked at USC game. We lost 70-17. And I always think about that game because I had 12 carries for 88 yards. And, in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, I can run the ball in this league. And then, after that, I think we played Alabama the next week. And, it just pretty much took off for me. Like I said, I didn't have any expectations of myself. I just wanted to show people that I could play football. And, just, being able to go out there and set pretty much every rushing record, man, I think it's awesome. Just amazing blessing, man.
It's incredible. Quinn, 3 years now, 05, 07, Darren, you had 4,590 yards rushing. Quinn, I mean, he'd had 6,000. We'd have got him back for that next year. We'd had NIL then. We could have paid him real good.
Oh, man. I might have stayed in college 6 years.
For sure. That's what they want to do now, Darren. They don't want to leave. They don't want to make that money. But
I tell people, I feel like my coaching staff, man, they always set me up in the right position. Coach Nutt and Danny Nutt, specifically Danny Nutt, man, he came to numerous amounts of my football and basketball games in high school. So he knew I was a pure athlete, and I feel like he was the one that had the most confidence in me being able to go back there and run the Wildcat. And, he's telling them, like, he can make decisions. He's seen me play. He's been to practices, and so he's seen everything that people don't see on Friday nights and everything. So I feel like he's one of the guys that really made a big goal for me to be the God, dog, can you talk to a Wildcat quarterback?
Yeah.
And I think just having the maturity and the coaches know that I can make plays, make the right decisions. They open the playbooks up for me. They got, like I say, get the ball in the playmakers' hands, and the coach staff did a great job of doing that. And so I got to give those guys full credit, and not talk about any of my teammates or anything, but those guys helped out a tremendous amount along the way. Whether it was just a guy like Felix and Payton in the backfield pushing me, or having guys like Tony Hugo, Zach Tubbs, guys like that in front of you, man, out there just making blocks for you. Those are all great guys that run behind, and I really enjoy running behind those guys. A guy like Mitch Petrus, man, guy coming to playing in the SEC, you don't know where he's going to play at, man, and he turned out to be one of the best linemen we had, and even played some fullback for us. Rest in peace his soul, but he was a great guy to have up there to run behind.
Toting that rock, man. I mean, like, everybody in the SEC knew y'all were going to run the ball. I mean, like, you got a quarterback in Casey and Mitch and all those guys or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's going to be you, Felix, and Peyton. And for you to be able to hop into that Wildcat, I mean, they couldn't stop it. I mean, they knew exactly what you were going to do. But because those guys were so talented, that trio has got to be one of the best in Arkansas history.
It was hard, whether if I'm handing the ball to Peyton or Felix or throwing a pass or whatever it is, like I say, Coach gave me free reign to do it. Like a lot of people don't know, in the SEC championship, the touchdown that I threw for Felix, that was supposed to be a quarterback draw play. But I looked out there, he's uncovered, gave him a signal, just tossed it out there to him. And so just having guys around you like that, being on the same page, knowing what's going on, they're seeing what you're seeing, it makes the game that much more easier. And so you have three football players that have a lot of knowledge of the game back there. And so they pretty much, we know, okay, yeah, he probably hand this one, he might keep this one. And so it made a lot of the reads a lot easier. And, some of the ones that were tough, I decided to, like, especially like with third down situation, man. If it's a third down situation, I almost don't care what the call is. If I see certain gaps, I'm going to go ahead and take them.
Yeah.
Darren, what was some of your favorite games? We talked about the South Carolina game. You had big games, obviously, against LSU. What's as you think back to those 3 years? What's some of your fondest memories of that stretch?
I tell people the LSU game, my number one overall, hands down, being able to beat them when they were number one in the country, man. That was just something that, at the time, nobody gave us a chance to go down there and beat them. So being able to go down there and beat them number one in the country, that was one of my favorite games. Going to Auburn and beating them when they were number two in the country, that's another one for me right there. I tell people I remember that game. My first 3 carries, I had 111 yards and 2 touchdowns. I hit a couple runs on them early in that game, and so that's another one. Being definitely being able to go against Florida in the SEC championship was one of my favorite ones as well. I still tell people that game, I hate how that one turned out, because I know we had. I tell people, and I still believe to this day, that my sophomore year we had a team that could have won a national championship, even with the losses that we had. Once that team got running and oiled up the way that it was, I think we could have won a national championship that year.
Hey, Darren, you've been an Arkansas kid growing up in this state, and you've experienced a lot, been in the NFL, you've done a lot of different things. If you could look back and talk to yourself as an incoming freshman, what advice would you, after seeing it all, what advice would you get an 18-year-old freshman or 17-year-old freshman?
Oh, man, it's tough, because I feel like coming in, I was kind of mature. And so I think for me, is one of the main things is, like, you can never work hard enough. At the end of the day, you can never work hard enough. No matter how much you think you're doing or how good you are, you can always put in some more work. I feel like there's something. I feel like I did a lot of hard work, to get to where I was. But, at the end of the day, I feel like it was some more work that I could have put in, and took my game to another level, and, just been even, I guess, more elite than what I was in college.
Because with that, man, I mean, like, when you got here, I mean, we were considered running back with you and Peyton and Felix. And when you think about it, I mean, how does it feel to be seen as the gold standard? I mean, not only just for running backs at the University of Arkansas and in the SEC, but just really like you consider the GOAT regardless. I mean, how does that feel?
It's an amazing feeling, man. Because like me, growing up an Arkansas kid, I've watched Arkansas ball. I'm a big Cedric Cobbs fan, man. That was a guy I felt like I watched him when he was at Jay Fair, and so that was a guy right there. I was like, when I hit Arkansas, I want to do what Cedric Cobbs did. Like anytime I watched him play, I was like, I never seen him getting tackled backwards. I feel like he always was falling forward when he was getting tackled. So just to be up there and be considered among some of the guys that I looked up to that I thought was so high, and to be considered above them, man, it's just an amazing feeling. And it's a testament to the hard work that I put in. Just going out there and being prepared and knowing what to do. There's a lot of things. You can go out there and play, but you got to know what to do when you're out there playing. And so that's something that I feel like I took a lot of pride in, just knowing what I'm supposed to do, knowing what this person is doing. And so it helps the offense run a lot smoother. I tell people, like, I could see a lot of the things before it even happened, especially like running with blocks and stuff. And so by the time that block happened, I'm almost at full speed. And so whoever trying to get off that block is like, good luck to you, pretty much.
Good luck. I've seen it.
That's awesome. You got this great demeanor too. You've always had that. Dean Weber and I have talked about that and kind of how you were able to handle things. A lot of pressure on you, especially after your freshman year here. There's so high of expectations, and you always met it. You always met those expectations. I'm sure there was times you were churning on the inside, but you were always able to look like you kept control. What's your thoughts on the internal part, the mental part? How did you do that?
I always tell people that I'm a pretty even keel person. I'm not gonna get too high. I'm not gonna get too low, and that was one thing that always kept me pretty even. And like I say, with my dad telling me things like he kept me humble. Like say, rush for 300 yards. He's saying you could have rushed for 500 yards. It always kept me humble. So that I think the humbleness always kept me hungry and wanting to do more and do better, and not feeling like I was at my best. Even times I'm number one back in the nation, but I always felt like I had to live up to that. So I had to keep my work going, to keep everything going. And I knew what I could do as a player. And through going through college, I felt like the pressure that was on me, it was a great amount of it, but I could deal with it better because I was playing and I wasn't injured versus when I was in the NFL, when I was injured and wasn't playing. And so I always just kept my faith. Like, I know at the end of the day, I know the type of player I am. I know what I can do. So like Coach Nutt said, we put on blinders. You block out all the outside noise and you focus on what you have to do. And so that was one thing I always did. And so when people talk highly about me, I thank you, appreciate it. But I want to, give my guys credit who helped me get to where I was and everything. And, I get a lineman full credit, my blockers, whoever had a role into playing into my success. And man, that's something that always kept me humbled. And, I just felt like pressure. I took it like, you can't put more pressure on me than I put on myself to go out there and perform and do the things that I do. And so that's kind of what kept me just even keel with this cool demeanor on the outside. But, it's been times on the inside, it's like you're fighting an uphill battle. And I always tell people like, I think my looseness is what kind of lets me be the player that I am. Like, I can joke around and do everything, and folks be like, there's no way he's ready to go play a game. But once I step out on that field, it's just like I have fun playing football, and so I don't take it too serious or anything. And not to say that I don't take it in a serious way to prepare for it and everything, because I take it serious in that manner.
Yeah.
But football it was fun to me. I enjoyed being out there. I enjoyed practices. I hated conditioning, but it's part of the game.
Yeah.
Quinn, he sounds like Matt Jones a little bit, doesn't he?
Another bad boy right there.
It's funny, people would always ask me, they were like, what's one thing you don't like? I'm like, I hate conditioning. They're like, how you don't like conditioning? You're a running back. I'm like, I know it's part of it, so I know I got to do it, but I hate it. Like, feeling like that's one thing that's why I never really like running track. Like, I'm just running, So
Yeah.
it was just one of my things right there. But I love the game of football, man. I always enjoyed playing it.
Well, Five, you stay cool, calm, and collected. There's no doubt, and your career has been fantastic. What you're doing post career has been awesome. But when it's time to be recognized, you've been recognized you've been on some of the biggest stages being recognized. What's it going to be like when you come back and go through that whole recognition ceremony with all those fans cheering for you and all that. I mean, what do you think that's going to be like? You think you're going to shed a tear, or I mean.
I was just gonna say, man, I hope I don't get emotional because, like I say, I try to be just an even keel, just calm guy, man. And anytime I can come back to Arkansas, be able to be honored by the fans, celebrate the fans, just see them, man. It's an amazing feeling. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be very exciting. I don't know what to expect right now, but I feel like I'm always welcomed by the fans, and so it'll be a warm home welcome for me. So I'm sure it'll be a fun day.
What I think's neat about it, obviously honoring the number is such a big deal, but sounds like from what Hunter said, Quinn, and they're going to hang something in the stadium. That's huge right there. Doesn't happen a lot, and we don't have a lot of that in Arkansas. That's huge.
I think it's awesome, man. I talked to guys that went to different schools and stuff, and they tell me about some of their facilities with different, people who played there, come before them or whatever. And that's something I hadn't seen much around Arkansas. And just to be able to be one of the first people that's going to have that ability to be able to have, not necessarily a statue, but something that's like, it's his name after Darren McFadden, one of the players. I think it's amazing, man. You have things that Burlsworth have done, what he's done. He has a great story. And I commend everybody who played a part in his story and what they've done for him. I just think it'd be awesome else to, join the likes of somebody like that right there.
Yeah. It's big time. That's big time. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome to see you again.
I'm
look here.
Man.
I ain't got patch.
I appreciate you guys for making my Tuesday, man.
That's what we're here to do, man.
What'd you think, though, Darren, when you're just talking to us? You've talked to us before. You say, I'm talking to these slappies as always. And then all of a sudden.
I say, for me, I'm coming on and enjoy my time with you guys, man. And, I think it was Coach Pittman, Hunter said that, they probably have a meme, and I see these two guys pop in, and I'm like, oh, I know those guys there. I wonder what's going on. They had rumors going around that I was supposed to be on the staff there, and I was like, oh, am I getting a job offer now? I didn't know what was going on. I was words for a second.
Yeah. You get to Little Rock any? See you folks? Who all you still got in Little Rock?
I still pretty much my majority of my family is still there, man. So I still get back there from time to time. I get there more and when it cools off in the hunting season. I like to get back home and go hunting and everything.
Yeah.
So, but I still get to Little Rock quite often. And I tell people like for the state of Arkansas, we look up to the University of Arkansas. We don't have a professional team, anyone that we look up to, and so we look up to the University of Arkansas. And I don't know what it is. I think at this day and age, kids are different now. They don't like being outside, running around, playing football in the fields and stuff. And so that's something I always grew up doing. And so it's different. You don't get it. Like you have guys that may be talented, but you might not get them out there. I don't know what it takes to get those guys on out there. But, hopefully, area like Little Rock, with the talent they've put out over the years, man, hopefully we can start to get some of those guys back out there on the field and having them out there playing. I think that'll be awesome, and it'll definitely be good for the football in the state of Arkansas.
Yep.
Hey, Five, last one from me, man. And I consider you the GOAT. There's no doubt about it. But how do you hope Razorback fans remember you? I mean, as a player and as a person.
It's funny you say that because, like, I meet a lot of people nowadays, and I feel like I just was in school 5 years ago, man. But the age gap has grown so much, so a lot of people a lot of the kids, they don't really know. I really remember Darren McFadden, man. But
you ought to try being me.
But I would definitely, I would try to encourage the younger generation, man. Go watch YouTube, watch some highlights. Not even just watch highlights. Watch some full games so you can see. Like I always tell people, I watch a running back and I judge what they do when they don't have the ball in their hands. Man, I want to see if they're out there for to do the hard nose parts of trying to block and do whatever. But I want to remember. I want to be remembered as one of the most electric players in Arkansas history. And not just an electric player, a guy that the fans can come up to and talk to. You can have your kid take a picture with. just remember there's a respectable person around and a good representative for the University of Arkansas. 'Cause, like I said, the state of Arkansas has done so much for me, man. I'm Arkansas through and through, born and bred, and so I can't say enough about the state of Arkansas.
I think you already got that check marked. All that's already done. You got plenty more to do, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, you definitely have. Well, Darren, you've been great. We appreciate you joining us on the Razorback Daily as always. Special day, a very special announcement by Hunter Yurachek and Sam Pittman. Congratulations, and we can't wait to see you this fall in Razorback Stadium.
Appreciate you guys, man. Look forward to catching up with you again, man. Take care, fellas.
Well, all right, Zan Terra, as we get ready to wrap up this edition of the Razorback Daily, man, what a special day on the Razorback Daily. I mean, you got Darren McFadden, you got Sam Pittman, you got Hunter Yurachek on. I mean, to really come in and recognize D-Mac in a big-time way. I mean, it was so good to have them pop on. Caught D-Mac by surprise. Very rarely do you catch that guy by surprise. But for them to come up with that special D-Mac patch for whoever's wearing number 5, that is a big-time way to recognize, in my opinion, the most recognizable, the guy with the most accolades in Arkansas football history.
Yeah, and you kind of said it as we got the interviewing. Probably the greatest Razorback football player of all time. And for this honor, it's a huge thing. And that patch will be there, but that recognition in the stadium, that is a big deal. And congratulations to him. We only have a couple numbers retired. They retired Clyde Scott years and years ago, number 12 from Smackover, Arkansas, and then Brandon Burlsworth after the tragedy where the young man from Harrison, Arkansas, the great Brandon, passed away, and his number has been retired ever since then. I call the hockey sticks number 77. And now Darren to be the third number honored. It's not necessarily a retired number. In football, you can't retire all these numbers. And I think Darren understands that. And the 5 will be worn, but it's a special recognition, a special ceremony, the recognition in the football stadium. Number 5, you were one of our all-time greats. And as we said, you can argue the greatest football player that we've ever had. So special time. Congratulations to Darren. I love that. You talk about well-deserved. And Quinn, if the vote goes a little different, I know it's a tough subject for him, but if the vote just goes a little bit different, folks, he's won 1 or 2 Heisman trophies, and then there probably is a statue. Well, we still have to honor him because of what he did, just because the votes fell a little bit short. Most anybody that watched college football in 06 and 07 would tell you that the greatest player, the most dominating player in 06 and 07 in all the land was Darren McFadden. And just because the vote didn't quite go our way, that don't mean that this man shouldn't be honored as all his achievements have dictated for his great success. Incredible story, Little Rock, Arkansas. I love it.
Well, I mean, Merry Christmas to Troy Smith from Ohio State and Tim Tebow, because Darren McFadden should have won that thing. There's no doubt about it. Well, all right, Zan Terra, that's how we'll wrap up this edition of the Razorback Daily, a Sporting Story production. I'm Quinn Grovey alongside my man, Matt Zimmerman. We'll talk tomorrow.